Hey everybody, welcome into our NBA TV studios. I'm Kristen Ledlow alongside our 3D, Dennis Scott. Baseball is going on in our building, but basketball is back.
That's right, that's right.
The preseason continued with 5 games on a Wednesday night. He'll have analysis, we'll have highlights. And after beating the back-to-back champion Warriors Saturday night in the Bay, the Timberwolves went to LA to take on the Clippers.
Catman, you got that new money. You got that new bag.
Feeling a little more confident?
Yes, and Gallinari, can you stay healthy, big fella?
Well, Gallo started off hot, pulling up from 3.
Splash.
Then another one, this time from Tobias Harris.
Oh, leave it. Splash.
Pulling up for yet another jumper. He had 14 points in the first quarter alone.
Come on, Kristen. We know this young man can flat out put the ball in the hole. You just got to stay healthy, Gallo.
Speaking of the Catman posting up and getting the hook shot to go, the Clippers still leading the way 28-22 at that point.
Oh, man, that's a running hook shot.
Look at him, though. Gallo running to save the ball.
Love the hustle, yep.
Behind the back. Gilgeous-Alexander with the 3. Clippers up 34-22. Then later in the second quarter, Jerome Robinson with the catch and shoot. Your fave.
Yeah, I love the catch. Leave it. See that follow through? Leave it, young fella. Leave it.
Looking silky. Tobias Harris, though, playing well. Gets by Anthony Tolliver for the layup.
We see the crossover to get Tolliver off balance. Now you use your body and you get to the basket off the glass. Now you're in one-on-one.
Bit of a mismatch here.
Ooh, shake and bake, and you got dropped off, Cat baby. You got dropped off, Cat baby. Ooh, Tobias.
Clippers go on to win it 128-101. So despite having beaten the reigning champions days ago, this game went in another direction for the Wolves. But it would be impossible to properly document the Jimmy Butler saga in the 30 minutes that we've allotted for this show. The Timberwolves star requested a trade prior to training camp, and as of this moment, no deal has been made. You know that his free agency is still looming. Who holds the cards at this point in these conversations?
Right now, probably Jimmy, because he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. So the Timberwolves right now in an interesting situation. Depending on who you talk to, some people are saying they're asking for too much. Otherwise, the deal could have been done by now, and Jimmy D in someone's preseason getting his legs ready for the season. So as this cat and mouse game goes back and forth, you like that? Back and forth, it's gonna go back and forth. And once it gets figured out, then we'll see Jimmy somewhere. But right now, Jimmy has to sit back at home because he asked for this. He could have easily been in camp, continue to work out, and let his agent work behind closed doors if he really wanted to be moved. But now it's already out there. So now they have to figure out, the T-Wolves, which is the best deal, what can they get the most for Jimmy before they pull the trigger?
Okay, so his initial list of preferred destinations included the Clippers, the Knicks, the Nets, the Heat have reportedly been added to that list. Where do you see as the best fit for him?
I wouldn't mind seeing him in Miami. And the reason I say that, because the way he plays both ends of the floor, being around Coach Spoelstra, being around that culture of trying to win again, I think he would be good down there, especially with D-Wade at the end of his career, about to retire, and now he kind of slides right in there. I think it'd be a good fit for him.
So assuming this situation is resolved, how good can Karl-Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins be together?
Well, with all this drama, as we call it now in our NBA, it's up to those two guys to really take that next step. Because we look at all the other young teams, they've done it. You look at Boston and teams like that, their young guys have taken that next step, and they are, primetime named, as we say. Now it's time for Cat and Wiggs to step their games up. You're at this point in your career, you got the bag, as they say, the young kids say they got the bag now. Now go out there and prove you deserve the bag and get into the playoffs and make some noise. And now your name will be mentioned with all the other young names like Embiid and Ben Simmons and the rest of those guys.
Young kids. I think they say that you have to secure the bag.
Secure the bag.
You don't just get it.
We got to grab it, secure it, snatch it.
You get it at first, and then you have to be sure that it's secured.
There you go.
I can just feel the tweets coming in. But if Danilo Gallinari is healthy, we're talking a lot of Timberwolves here. We can't ignore a double-digit Clipper win. If he's healthy, along with the rest of that roster, are they a playoff team in the Western Conference?
I believe if everyone stays healthy, Doc Rivers will figure out a way for those guys to fight for an 8th spot. Now, obviously, they don't have enough talent to get in there and really make some noise in the playoffs, but what Doc showed us last year with all the injuries and bringing all the two-way players up and still being competitive and winning games, I still believe in Doc. And I believe in Doc with the talent and the way Tobias Harris and all those guys have come back in shape, ready to play. It's all about playing that good team defense, getting stops, share the basketball. And now, guys like Lou Williams, you have a chance.
Well, elsewhere in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns guard Devin Booker started shooting.
Oh,
with his
okay.
post
That means the hands feel pretty good. All right.
After practice Tuesday morning, Booker had surgery September 10th to repair an injury to that right hand. He was given a 6-week recovery timetable. He has not yet been cleared to return to contact drills. But Devin's Suns become the first NBA team to take on a team from New Zealand, the Sky City Breakers. The team had 4 days in the U.S. to train at Talking Stick Resort Arena. And DeAndre Ayton, the top overall pick, off to a good start.
Well, he's a throwback, Kristen. Loves the ball in the post, gets to the rim for the big dunk, and now you face up and knock down a clean jump shot.
Well, a throwback. How about a throwdown?
Oh, yes, alley oops. Yes, I like it.
Defensively, though, coming up with the block.
Get that shot out of here.
Then the other end, Josh Jackson with the lob.
Yeah, it's going to be fun as they figure out how to share the basketball and this young man can stay out of foul trouble. Phoenix Suns have a chance to be very excited.
Ayton had 13 points and 10 rebounds at the half. That was Trevor Ariza with the layup, plus the foul.
Tricks.
Sean Marion, part owner of the Breakers, by the way, enjoying the game courtside.
Nice.
Ryan Anderson, 3. A little weird.
That's right.
I'm seeing Trevor Ariza and Ryan Anderson out there.
I knew Trevor Ariza, but I was like, wait a minute, how did the Ryan Anderson trade slide under the radar? I missed that one. Oh, my goodness.
Ayton finished with 21 points and 15 rebounds in this one. Your final score, the Phoenix Suns win at 91-86. So what I want to know is how big an impact Devin's absence will be to start the season for the Suns.
Well, I think it'd be a huge impact for their big picture. But I think in the early days for Ayton, I think it's going to be huge because now you run the offense through him, you give him extra touches, and you get him used to the NBA game because a lot of times when young guys come into the league, Christian, at this talent, you double team him to see if he can figure out how to pass out of the double team. And things like that early in the season will be good for the Suns. And then when Devin comes back, Devin has to realize that I have somebody down low that I can feed and make things easier for me. So the Devin Booker, Ayton pick and roll is going to be potent once they figure it out.
Shaq and Kobe
2.0.
I didn't say it. He said it. All right, after the break, the preseason highlights continue. A 5-game Wednesday night. Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks taking on Jabari Parker and the Bulls. Plus, the Knicks and Nets face off in Brooklyn, where Alonzo Trier was the one to watch. And the Pistons and Thunder in a close finish in the fourth. We're going to have those highlights next. The starters answer the 50 burning questions about the upcoming season. And on Monday at 5:30, they'll discuss and debate who the Warriors' biggest challenger may be in the West. Don't miss it. It's right here on NBA TV. Jabari Parker once said of coming home to Chicago that the stars aligned. But DZ, he was once the second overall pick by the Milwaukee Bucks in the 2014 NBA draft. He's struggled with injury and inconsistency, but still has averaged more than 15 points a game throughout his career thus far. Signed with the Bulls July 14th as a free agent and feeling a bit more confident.
Yeah, the talent's there. It's just a matter of him staying healthy. We know he can get buckets.
Well, Jabari and those new-look Bulls taking on his former Bucks in Giannis Antetokounmpo's first appearance in the Mike Budenholzer era as well.
Yeah, new building they're playing in tonight, too.
That it is. I'm excited to see that one.
Me too.
Brooke Lopez, pump fakes, well, that's Robin, and then dunks on Jabari Parker.
Okay, big fella. We are watch ahead early in the season. This preseason, he's doing that.
3-2 early on, but Giannis doing it all for Milwaukee, as we so often see all season long.
Well, do what you do best, Greek Creek. Put the ball on the floor and get to the basket.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the left is alive. The left hand's alive.
The mean face.
Oh, that's too early. Is it too early for that?
I don't know. I mean, you know,
okay,
his thing is stay freaky.
Okay.
The Greek freak.
Oh, wait a minute. What? Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, 1 of 2 from 3.
Shooter's paradise, dare I say?
I think so.
Maybe? I don't know. Oh, no, that's what you do best. That's what you do best. Get to the cup, and that's a poster.
Coast to coast with the dunk. He had 19 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists in this one. Zach LaVine, though, missing. He did come up limping from this one.
Ooh.
Now,
I hope it's not
he
the
left
knee.
the game with a right thigh contusion.
That sounds better.
He did not return to this one. You guys can stay with NBA.com for the latest on his status. The Bucks went on to win at 116-82. And of course, Dennis, it's preseason, but what is going through Jabari's mind as he faces his former team?
Well, I think tonight he was forced to some things playing against his former team, like you mentioned, in Milwaukee, that drafted him. And he really wanted to be there knowing that it's right down the road from Chicago where he grew up. But the injuries after injury after injury have held him back. But one thing we've learned about this young man, he's willing to put in the work to get back on the floor so the Bulls have the confidence and still believe in the talent. The talent hasn't lied to us. Like you said, still 15 points in the NBA is still a lot of points and still productive. You got to figure out a way to get those legs to finish up the NBA season so you can continue your career.
Giannis's stat line that I mentioned, by the way, was in 22 minutes. A cool 22 minutes.
Cool
19
22 minutes.
Points,
yeah.
13 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 of 2 from 3 as well. I know that he's going to be in that MVP conversation, but perhaps are we rushing over Coach Bud and the Bucks in the Eastern Conference playoff conversation?
Well, one thing we know about Coach Bud, he is going to put this talent in the right situation. Just like he did with the Hawks, he came in and changed the culture around and taught ball movement, player movement. He would do the same thing there in Milwaukee. The question is, he's never had a talent like Giannis who can take over any different points of the game. So how do you teach him how to have great leadership but continue to share the basketball and have good team play?
Are the pieces there then, or if not, what is the final piece to get the Bucks over the hump in the Eastern Conference and to have home court advantage heading into the conference playoffs?
Can you knock down open jump shots consistently all season long? I think picking up a guy like Pat Connaughton, who was playing in Portland last season, if he can knock down shots when he comes in the floor, DiVincenzo, I think you said
yes,
his name?
DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo. I've been practicing on it all summer
like
long.
it.
But that young talent, can those guys make jump shots consistently all season long? They have a chance.
You could just call him Dante. That's his first
No,
name.
DiVincenzo.
But DiVincenzo sounds...
DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
I like that better.
I like it. See, that's what we learn at Summer League.
That's right.
We learn how to say everybody's names. So you can't fault it. And the Empire State of Mind.
Ooh, there's my guy
There's
right
your
there,
boy.
baby. There's my guy.
The 9th overall pick, Kevin Knox, and the Knicks in Brooklyn to take on the Nets. Knox getting the tough layup to go. He had 7 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 22 minutes in this game. There's LeVert throwing it down on the other end.
He's another young guy. Is he ready to take that next step of being one of those big-time players in the league?
Alonzo Trier, though, the one to watch in this one, 20 points in the first half alone.
Very aggressive, getting to the rim, playing with confidence.
The Knicks would lead the way by 4 at the half, but Enes Kanter playing well in the post, getting the hook shot to go. Then Lance Thomas driving baseline. It's the wraparound pass to Kanter. He had 22 points and 20 rebounds.
Well, that's what Kanter does. But get that shot out of here.
Spencer Dinwiddie with his shot blocked. Frank Ntilikina on the other end. Trier with the layup plus the foul. He had 25 points in the game. But a tough moment here for the Knicks' second-round pick, Mitchell Robinson. While running back on defense, he would injure his right ankle. Now, he would leave the game and not return. And like I said, stay with NBA.com for the latest on his health status moving forward. The Knicks would go on to win at 107-102. So we move on to no Russell Westbrook, no Paul George, no problem for the aforementioned Lil Goldie.
That means no
Started
Lil
off hot.
Goldie. I think I call him Dennis now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got to call him Dennis now. Dennis with the 3.
21 points.
That doesn't sound right.
And 9 assists in this one.
Come on, Lil Goldie. I like that better.
I liked that too.
But I like the way you're sharing the basketball.
Yeah, he
I
looked
like
for
that.
Steven Adams, and he'd find him. The dunk over Andre Drummond, then yet another, this time the alley-oop. Adams had 17 points and 12 rebounds in this one. The Thunder would lead the way 52-49 at the half. But Drummond taking over in the second half.
Uh-oh, big fella with the steal.
Yeah.
Handle it. Oh!
And the Euro
Drummond
layup.
step.
Okay.
The Drummond.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stanley Johnson on the miss, but Drummond's there, the rebound, and
Oh, man, just a
Why
man
not?
child.
grabbing
Just
the
a
loose
man
ball.
child.
Again, just doing everything that his team needs here.
I just think if he can stay healthy and continue to grow, it's Detroit and Blake Griffin when healthy could be interesting.
Well, the Pistons win at 97-91. And coming up next, we'll have more from the GM survey, including what they had to say about a potential three-peat. Don't go away. A year, the 17th annual NBA.com GM survey has been released. The NBA's general managers respond to 49 different questions about the offseason behind and the season ahead. So what looks different from last season? Well, 93% of GMs last season thought that the Warriors would win the title, and now only 87% think so.
Only 87?
Okay, so what do you think could have done it? Was it perhaps the 7-game series that the Rockets took them to in the Western Conference Finals?
Well, Kristen, believe it or not, I think some people thought if Chris Paul could have stayed healthy, maybe things could have came out a little differently. Now you add Carmelo, more offensive scoring. Do you bring back the same defensive mentality because you lost some very key defensive players from the roster? But the system is still the same. Chris Paul comes back healthy. James Harden is still leading the way, being point, whatever he wants to be. So now, how does Carmelo come in and pick up the defensive mindset, rebound the basketball, and help out with the scoring? And maybe those were the few GMs that changed their mind.
Well, do you think, though, that it's interesting that despite picking up DeMarcus Cousins, who will be healthy at some point midway through the season, they've perhaps gotten better? Why is it that they received less of the vote?
Well, they've gotten better with talent, but some people are still wondering, will Cuz fit in the locker room? Yes, Draymond and Steph Curry, they're all saying the right things. But in the fourth quarter, will Cuz continue to make the right decision? Is he open, or is that extra pass man open? And that's the way the Warriors share the basketball. So there are a few people saying, yes, they are more talented. Yes, they will rebound better. But one thing Kevin Durant picked up right away, this team shares all season long. How quickly will Boogie pick that up?
Okay, Boogie, I'm sure that he would appreciate
he loved that
one.
too.
How about in the matter of most valuable player? Well, LeBron James led the way with 30% of the vote.
Ooh, look at those guys.
Edging out Kevin Durant with 27%. So he played all 82 games last season. He came up short in the NBA Finals and in MVP voting. Do you see it as logical for LeBron to make another MVP push?
It makes sense because now he's going to a new situation, and as he elevates this young team to another plateau, now he's going to get extra votes because they're going to say, how's LeBron James doing it at this age with this young team that's never been deep into the playoffs? Wait a minute, they haven't even made the playoffs yet.
Yeah.
So if they make the playoffs with LeBron James leading the show, he will get extra votes. And some people are saying, why is Steph Curry's name not on that list? Well, maybe because he and KD may cancel each other out.
Okay, well, James Harden and Anthony Davis also got votes. Is there anybody that you would include on that list?
Yeah, I don't understand why Uncle Drew's not on that list. I think people forgot about last year. He was rolling before he got hurt. I think around the 20th game part of the season, he goes down. Now, same situation as LeBron from the standpoint, well, this young team grew up last year without Kyrie. So now Kyrie comes back with the team more confident, seasoned, gone deep into the playoffs. Now his leadership will be key for him to get those MVP votes.
And he's more confident, not just the team, but it takes a lot of confidence to win Rookie of the Year as well. According to the GM survey, it's Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks with 43% of the vote. Last year, Lonzo Ball sat at 62%. With, though, that professional experience under his belt, do you see Luka as a shoo-in as he makes this transition?
I wouldn't say a shoo-in, Kristen, but I'm not mad at the GMs for voting this young man because he will get plenty of opportunity. The numbers should be there. Rick Carlisle is one of the best coaches in our game that takes young talent like this and puts him in good situations to be successful. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how he picks up the NBA game, and then he'll get those votes.
Okay, well, if he's not a shoo-in, who do you think could perhaps sneak in?
Well, New York Knicks fans will make y'all happy. Kevin Knox. I'm sorry, Knicks fans. I love this young man. I had 2 or 3 of his games in Summer League. I've liked what he's done so far in the preseason. Talking to Coach Fizdale, he was the guy they won in the draft. They slipped to the Knicks. So watch him put the ball on the floor, can score many different ways. As he learns how to pick up the NBA defense, I think he's going to sneak in there.
Well, it is easier and more fun than ever to play NBA Fantasy with weekly lineups and head-to-head matchups. You guys can draft your favorite players. You can compete with your friends and get closer to the game. Play official NBA Fantasy at nba.com/playfantasy. After the break, we're going to look ahead to Thursday's matchups as the NBA's preseason continues. We'll be right back.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Open Court.
I think the hardest thing for us in our jobs is, the unpredictability of when things are going to pop up.
If you can get a real good player in your team, I don't care what city you're in, I think players will come.
There is no doubt about it for me that Victor came into the Indiana Pacers and changed our whole organization.
What you really want to be good is 4 or 5 years from now. That's when the guys in Golden State, they're in their 30s, and LeBron hopefully is out of the league.
GM smell blood, players smell blood. Everybody wants to win. That's what the game is about. It's all about winning.
Open Court Executives premieres Thursday at 7 Eastern on NBA TV. And we've got a doubleheader as the preseason continues. The Pacers and Rockets at 8 Eastern, followed by the Kings and Lakers at 10:30. Then, of course, don't miss Game Time for highlights and analysis right here. So we're still 2 weeks away from the regular season, but we have seen glimpses of the LeBron-led Lakers. We know it'll be entertaining. How productive will it be?
I think it's going to be productive, and I like what Luke Walton's done so far is putting LeBron at the top of the key area and let guys cut to the basket, showing his passing ability. And as long as guys do that, I think they'll be okay.
All right. Well, speaking of entertaining, this is or was the stuff of legends. Now, every single one of us has reason to doubt everything that we've ever believed in. At the buzzer, in 2010, the Orlando Magic's Matt Barnes prepared to inbound the ball against the LA Lakers with Kobe Bryant guarding him. He ball faked. Kobe didn't flinch. I mean, how many times have we seen this?
Man.
Well, late Tuesday morning, the starters, Trey Kirby, tweeted, "Don't watch the overhead angle of the Kobe Barnes no flinch unless you want it to be totally ruined." So what did we do? We watched it.
Yeah, we didn't watch it. Everyone was like, go look. I'm like, look for what? I'm like,
well, the angle from above shows Kobe standing to the right of Matt as he faked it, well, away from Kobe into the open court. Kobe continues swaying.
Right, that's right there in his face, though. That's kind of like,
the play.
Yeah, I'm not ruined.
I would, though, like to provide an update because Barnes responded Wednesday telling TMZ Sports it went in his face. He didn't flinch, and I thought that was a dead story.
Yeah, I'm not ruined.
So can we kill it?
I've been, when someone puts I don't care if it's about your shoulders, near your face.
It didn't happen just then when you just tried to do it to me.
We're good. Kobe's Kobe. Oh, yeah, whoa. Come on, girl.
I didn't think so. Can you deal with that?
Ooh, that left jab. My goodness.
He's Dennis. I'm Kristen, and we'll see you
y'all
next
later.
time.
Hey, with the
Flawless finish.
bobbing, we got me bobbing and weaving on in there. Hey, easy.
Solid.
Hey, easy.